the Blueprint.
An absolute must-see.
Now, first of all, I want to welcome you all to what? Michigan. That's what recruits want for Christmas. We on the list again. Stay tuned, keep your eyes glued, make sure you listen in. John Reeves is doing this thing, the Blueprint gets it in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Blueprint. Who could possibly have it better than us?
Nobody.
Nobody! Listen, I'm your host, Michigan Man Ray.
And I'm your girl, Rocky Jones.
Listen, we just caught up with two of the top coaches at the University of Michigan, Pep Hamilton and Coach Chris Partridge. What did you think about the interview? How did you think it all went?
All right, I'm Coach. You're the media. Ready?
Yeah. So, Coach, how's the quarterback? No, who's the starting quarterback?
No comment.
So, Coach, anybody standing out, jumping out at you?
They're all doing great. Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
That's how it went. It's pretty generalized. They didn't want to give us nothing much, but they gave us a little bit here and there that we can connect, you know.
Yeah, they let us know that we're going to be tight, we're going to be loaded. We got some studs that everybody's competing. No one's separated themselves yet because it's still early in camp. You know, we're going to go into a little bit of this right now. I'll give you some of this interview, and then we'll be right back.
Right back.
Right back.
That's what he said.
See what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button,
comment
stay
too.
Connected, and comment. Say hi, Rocky. Today I want y'all to say, welcome to Blueprint, Rocky. Or should we say, hey, Rocky?
Say, hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey. You heard it right there. We'll be right back.
Intensified the level of competition amongst that receiver group, and to say that they made progress is somewhat of an understatement.
Obviously, it's a meritocracy, but how do you plan to get all those young receivers on the field, considering the depth and the talent there?
Well, we still have 25 days before we play a game, so you know, there'll be guys that are continuing to make progress and that'll separate themselves and ultimately give themselves a chance to play.
Have you already seen some players kind of emerging in front of the group?
Well, I think, you know, there's been a ton of guys that have had really good days. You know, it's just a matter of stacking days and being consistent. And, you know, once again, in time, you know, Coach will have some hard decisions to make.
There's so much talk about the younger receivers. What about some of the older guys? You know, Maurice Ways comes to mind. How's he doing and how's he fit in?
Well, like I said, I think the younger receivers, you know, they've you know, made all of our receivers, you know, have to work hard. And not that they wouldn't work hard anyway, but it's just getting reps is really competitive at this point. And we have a lot of reps over the course of practice, so everybody has an opportunity to get out there and make plays, and there's a ton of guys that are making plays.
Is there a noticeable difference in how the receivers are chemistry timing with Wilton Spate as opposed to in the spring?
No, I think, you know, overall as an offensive unit, we've improved from a continuity standpoint. I think that's what you're saying. And I think that the time that the players spent this summer, you know, and the player ran workouts, that gave them an opportunity to gain a better sense of the timing that's required for us to be successful as an offense. And so there have been improvements.
Obviously, the guys have to get a grasp on what you're teaching, but how much of a sense of control do you feel, I mean, being new, going through camp, how much do you feel like it's, you know, kind of the way, I guess, sense of control?
I don't know that control would be the word that I would use. I think that, you know,
snuck in, sly, camp, go under the radar.
It's early impressions of the three freshman linebackers that you...
Yeah, they're all competing, they're all athletic, they like to hit, they're what we expected.
Where have you seen a lot of improvement from Devin Bush, given the year of experience now?
You know, just a year of maturity. You know, that's a big thing. You know, just a year of development in the weight room, athletically. He's a guy who works, you know, just as hard off the field as on the field. Really enjoys the game and all aspects of it. So, you know, his ceiling is high, and he keeps getting better and better. And you know, he's obviously a very savvy football player from his background, from his father playing, and everything like that. So we're excited about what he's going to be able to do.
He said in the spring that he was working at both Mike and Will. Is he focusing more on one of those spots now?
You know, he's able to do both. I mean, he's been playing a lot of Mike lately, you know, but he's able to do both and will.
Mike McCray has been getting a lot of praise for his leadership and what he's done. Can you talk about that aspect as well as how he's come along as a player?
Yeah, I think Mike, you know, like I mentioned, so Mike came in last year and won the starting spot, but if you know his background, the prior 2 years he had been coming off some injuries and stuff. So I think last year he was kind of feeling it out early, started gaining confidence, and became a tremendous football player for us. This year he's coming in having that background, and he kind of imposes himself on the other guys and on the young guys, and there's an aura about him that's different than it was last year. So, and that's important because guys will look up to him, and he's a hard worker, and he's a Big Ten linebacker. So, and now with that aura about him and that sense of leadership, he's stepped his game up.
Chris, a lot of former players over the summer were saying, even though there may not be experienced linebacker group, they felt that position group was the strongest. Is there any pressure in the room? Is there any pressure on you? I mean, what do you guys? I guess how are you guys hearing that? How do you deal with it when you're hearing that?
Oh yeah, I mean there's pressure at all moments, and that's something you have to learn how to deal with, and you got to just put your head down and keep working. I tell these guys all the time, if you want to be tough, you do tough things, and pressure is a part of being tough, and camp is a part of being tough, and and fighting through things and working together, and so we'll take on all comers. Anything that that'll make us tougher and make us a better unit is something that we embrace.
Khalid Hudson, the skills that he brings to that position.
Violence, aggression, hammerhead. He's a guy that just loves contact, and I think that people feed off of that too. And he's becoming very, very well-rounded as a player. So he's going to be enjoyable to watch.
Chris, do you have any movement on your return game? I know in spring it was a bunch of guys, but
bunch of guys. We're all competing. We're in camp. We're all we got a bunch of guys that are competing for the spots and working hard and getting better and better. So it's still the same. There's a wide variety.
You seen improvement in any way in terms of ball security, the little things that need to happen there?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. I mean, that's what we got to do. We have to improve. We have no choice. So yeah, we're getting better and better. We're getting more comfortable back there. I think it'll be a dynamic unit with a lot of depth.
In particular, for those that only got to see the spring game, Nate Johnson, how's he in practice day-to-day handling the ball?
I think they're all improving, as a group, every single one of them. So, it's something where he knows he has to focus on just like the rest of them, and they work together really well.
Getting more well-rounded, as you mentioned, is it a matter of getting him to not want to run full speed into things and slow down a little bit and learn some different parts of the game, or what's his help?
I mean, you're never going to tell Coach Brown that you don't want someone to run full speed into things. So, so that's I guess a small part of it. But I mean, Khalid played as a freshman last year, but he's young. I mean, he's gonna round out his game just like anyone always would. So, I don't think it's every. I'll never say, Coach Brown will never say take away the physicality. Learn how to play with that physicality maybe. But I think it just overall and everything, he's just learning the game.
Chris, Jim mentioned Quiddy and Luigi as two young guys on the edge of possibly DE linebacker. Are they spending a lot of time with you, or primarily D defensive end?
No, they spend most of the time with Coach Madison. And they're like all the other freshmen. They're what we expected.
We have a pretty solid feel about who's leading to be the starting three, but how is the depth developing at the linebacker spot?
Like always, there's a lot of guys competing, and it's really early here, so it's hard to determine anything or say, who's going to be the guys. I think that there's a big group of guys that, are all trying to fight for it and, are all pretty much on equal footing right now.
What is the attitude, I guess, of a younger group, knowing that that you guys could possibly be the strength of the defense, if not a great complement to D-line? What is kind of their attitude knowing that?
I mean, I think it's the same attitude as the entire defense. There's no segregated group. I think they're all hungry. They're all eager to learn. Being a young unit with a couple older guys. I mean, I think the whole deal is the same. We're just, the whole defense goes out there and is eager, is hungry, want to get after it. They're physical, they're fast. I think it's a group thing here.
You don't coach him, but obviously Tyreek Kinnell's on the same side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You noticed anything about his play and stepping up?
Oh yeah, I mean I coach Tyree every day. He's a special teams, guy that graded out the highest, and he'll continue to do that. So Tyree is a leader. That's what he is. He's a natural leader, and he gets those guys going. Another guy that loves the game and loves all aspects of it. So he's someone we're looking at to play a big role.
What does it take to grade out the highest on special teams?
Consistency. Just being able to do what you're asked to do and do it in a aggressive manner. I think he's very savvy. He can move around. He played a lot of different spots on teams for us last year. Just was a guy that was consistent week to week for us.
Chris, he's gone now, but Jabril question. Kind of some things, pre-draft or maybe some misinfo or whatever, but now reports saying he's doing pretty well in Cleveland. Have you talked to Jabril, or do you have any contact with him over the summer? Anything since he's left?
Yeah, I've spoken to him briefly. He's doing his thing like he was. He's a great football player. He's a competitor. He's a smart kid. He'll do big things, and he's motivated. He's ready to go.
Any surprise that he's coming on pretty quick in Cleveland?
No, there's no surprises there. Not at all.
Chris, is a kicking game something that's going to go right up until the first week?
Oh yeah.
Wide open?
Yeah, it's going to stay wide open, and they're going to they all have a chance to compete at a high level, every day. So yeah, that's going to go up until the very end.
Same with the punters?
Same with the punters, yep. Same with the return guys, same with the snappers. We're going to keep those guys, they're all even right now, and they're all competing for the job.
Got time for a couple more for Coach
The
Partridge?
return game, I know in the last season you had Jabril and Jordan, your guys. Do you want star players, or is there a benefit to having someone who might not play as much elsewhere that can hone his craft?
No, with returning, especially punts, but kicks also, it's one of the hardest things to do, and so the best guy on the team is going to do that, that's able to do that. There's no, hey, he's a star, he can't do it, or we need, there's none of that. It's the best guy who's able to catch punts and get vertical, the best guy who's able to catch kicks, get vertical, break tackles. Those are the guys that are going to do it, and they're all competing for it.
Get your opinion on from a recruiting aspect. With the new recruiting calendar, the December signing period, have you seen kids maybe change up how, adjust to that as well? How they want to go about when they make their decisions?
No, not really. It seems the same to me. We haven't really looked into that December signing day that much until we get into the September area. I think we'll look into it more, but I think that it's the same. I think there's the kids who want to go early and commit early and sign early, and there's the kids who want to drag it on and go late and do it on signing day. I think that'll stay the same.
You've had a bunch of poor 2019 commits so far. Is 2018 set, or are you still reaching out to both classes?
We'll recruit all the way up until signing day. It'll never be set. I think you reach out to both classes all the way through. A commitment doesn't mean that we don't keep recruiting the guys. It's you got to continue to form relationships, build relationships, coach kids, and help them as they go through their senior and junior year, whatever it might be. So no, it doesn't get set. You keep rolling through it.
Chris, for one more. Chris, obviously special teams need to be effective with a good kicker, good punter. How critical has been last year, given the streak that Kenny went on? How is that the most important piece of your special teams right now, kicker, punter?
I don't like to view it like that. There's a lot of important pieces to it. I think every component is important. You can't, have one digress and one get better. You're gonna have a rift in there. I think we gotta build the whole deal and put the pressure on, the whole thing. We don't, as special teams, just rely on the kicking punting game. We want to block kicks, we want to return kicks, we want to be aggressive, we want to keep the other team on their heels. So, I think we build it all up. One thing that we've really tried to do this year is we are trying to teach all the units what each other are doing and try to build that whole deal. So, I'm not ready to say that one is more important than the other.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
What's up, Blueprint? It's your girl, Rocky Jones, and who can have it better than us? Nobody. Well, I want to recap what we just saw. We saw a few of the coaches today, some of the assistant coaches. We saw Coach Pep and we saw Coach Chris. They're both more so like, "Hi, Coach. How's the team looking today?" No comment. well, how are you liking camp so far? No reply. The whole team's looked great. Don't know. So they weren't giving us too much out of it, but they gave us a little bit here and there that we can piece together further along. And they're just kind of just putting in the work right now to see themselves go to Florida and beat them.
Be sure to catch the Blueprint Show with Michigan Man Ray every Monday.
It's the Blueprint.
An absolute must-see.